Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at Cardano ADA. If we do look at Cardano ADA in the last 24 hours, we're seeing about a 1.7% increase up to $1.30 now. Still looking very, very good. A lot of bullish information and news we're going to talk about today as well. I do want to take a look at the last week as well, though. 22.7% of an increase, and then we have the last month with about a 3% decrease. So overall, the market has been very, very good in the last couple of days, maybe a week now. We are starting to see a lot of cryptocurrencies, return to that green state that we were once in, continuing to push farther and forward. I do believe we are going to see even farther recoveries as we get closer to really the end of September. I've talked about September being a possibility still for that massive dip, or really not a massive dip, but a gradual dip that we will see the bottom for a lot of altcoins. I still think that's really, like I said, a possibility. But as we move forward, it's going to be hard to predict the exact bottom, as there is a lot of manipulation and FUD that I believe it will still take place in the market, even with a bullish look in the market. So do remember that is still to come. And remember also that I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research before investing. So let's jump into the first really thing we're going to look at today. That's going to be the crypto market as a whole. So we're seeing a 4.85% increase overall across the board. And that's crazy to see. Obviously, like I said, great recoveries. Bitcoin getting closer to 40K, Ethereum at 2.3K, XRP up 15%. So massive, massive increases, like I said, across the board right now and today. I do want to talk a little bit more about Cardano specifically. So before we talk about Cardano's price predictions for the end of the year and end of the bull market part 2, I do want to really talk about 7 things to know before you buy Cardano. And that's actually an article we're going to jump into today. So for those of you who maybe are new to Cardano or maybe new to crypto in general, these are 7 things you probably didn't know about Cardano. Even if you're a Cardano holder, you may not know some of these things. So number 1, Cardano is energy efficient. So we're not going to jump into all the details. We're just going to give you guys the headlines because we'd be here quite a while if I explained every single one. You can definitely jump in on this article at full.com, and they talk about Cardano. So the founder of Cardano helped create Ethereum. If you guys didn't know that, he was a part of the team that founded Ethereum along with its co-founders and inventor, obviously Vitalik Buterin. So we also see number 3, it can handle large numbers of transactions. So scalability has been a problem for the biggest cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin processes about 5 transactions per second, and Ethereum processes about 15. That leads slower transactions with higher fees. Visa, on the other hand, processes about 1,700 transactions per second. In tests, Cardano has processed 257 transactions per second, and it's also planning to add another layer called Hydra to its blockchain. With this technology, it could potentially process 1 million transactions per second. So that would be absolutely massive, and just the crazy amount of future or really capabilities that could provide to Cardano and its users. We also see number 4, Cardano has a wide range of uses. So they talk about healthcare, finance, and agriculture as just 3 of those real world examples that we continue to see in play. We also see it takes research first approach. So they do their research, their due diligence before really acting, and I think that's a big deal with some of these cryptocurrencies. They jump a little bit too far in, head first instead of feet first. Make sure everything's good before they continue on. There's a limited number of Cardano available, so there is a fixed supply, and there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. Cardano is the same way. It's a max supply of 45 billion ADA, and there are currently about 32 billion ADA in circulation. That alone doesn't guarantee the price will go up, but if Cardano takes off in popularity, then the limited supply could help increase demand. So that could be huge, obviously, in the future. Scarcity definitely increases the price usually in pretty much every market. So do expect that to help in the future. We also see you'll need a crypto exchange that offers Cardano. Because Cardano is one of the largest cryptocurrencies, you can find it on several of the best crypto exchanges. So Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, eToro, SoFi, as well as a lot of other ones. And I will say, guys, if you ever want to use any of these exchanges, I have links down in the description below with my referral link, so you guys can use my referral link down below. Like I said, it'll help support you. It'll help support me for Coinbase, Voyager, KuCoin, whatever else. So let's jump into some of the talk about really Cardano on Twitter. Before we do so, though, I do want to talk about BlockFi. So BlockFi is the future of finance. They talk about the old way of doing things doesn't really cut it anymore. With BlockFi, you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest at up to 7.5% APY, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. There are no hidden fees, no minimum balances, and no reason to wait. So they talk about how you can get your really credit card today. You just have to apply to the wait list, and just big things coming to BlockFi. You can actually take advantage, put your money in, and get that earnings in return. And I think a lot of people always talk about working smarter, not harder, and that's exactly what I think here is with putting your money into something like BlockFi instead of a bank where you're earning 0.1 interest at best. So I do expect, like I said, a lot of people to start using BlockFi as we get closer and closer to mass adoption with crypto. But let's jump back into Twitter now, talking about the interesting piece in BBC News on the upcoming IPCC report into human impact on climate change. Energy emissions and climate impact are essential to consider in crypto. And you can read more about that report on BBC, but we're not going to jump too much farther into that. Continuing to see that, Cardano is one of those eco-friendly cryptos out there. So this article specifically talks about 4 eco-friendly cryptos you should know about. And obviously, the Motley Fool includes, Cardano as one of the key eco-friendly cryptos to know about. So jumping into another one, we see Cardano's Foundation 23 and 2024 goals with ambitious goals, and we need a solid plan of important steps to achieve them. And you can actually watch this on their YouTube channel, but we are going to jump into this actual picture here, graphic. We see increased interoperability for chains and world systems, onboard 3 Fortune 500 companies to hold ADA, increase the diversity on chain activity, promote growth in wallet addresses, and then publish 3 white papers and 5 how-to case studies. So that would be absolutely huge. These goals are, just showing how big Cardano could actually grow and blow up to if we got some of these to actually register. We also see the big Adam Dean talking about, well, today felt like a good day to do it. There is a GitHub now live on open source on GitHub version 1.0 beta. Accept ADA payments into your WooCommerce store and run wild. Simple, clean code, no middleman or fees, just unlocked e-commerce. So this is huge, obviously giving accessibility to a lot of different stores and online stores at the very least to jump in and start to use Cardano as payments. So that will definitely be another really milestone on the way to mass adoption is really the idea that, it's this accessible, it's out there, people are continuing to develop on Cardano. So I do want to jump now to the next tweet. This one talks about, I'm very confused why people still say nobody is building on Cardano. It's publicly known that really hundreds of projects are, and never mind the ERC20 bridge. Willful ignorance or trapped in an algorithmic reality tunnel. Here's a link to fund for a loan. So this is actually some of Cardano's ecosystem right here. I believe this was March 2021. So since then we have seen some new, growth in the ecosystem, but just crazy how how large this ecosystem already is. And obviously, that he talked about huge things happening, so people are going to hold him to it. But kind of recap what's happened over the last couple of years with Cardano. It's definitely continued to grow and continue to get better and better. So we are going to jump now back to our Cardano price chart. We do right now, like I said, see $1.30, about a 3.33% increase in the last 24 hours. And the week is up to about 22.91. However, I will say, guys, looking at the the market to come, we could see a massive dip before we see a massive increase. However, I will say overall, by the end of the year, I do still see massive increases to take place. So if you're just holding long term, you should be in the right bucket. I will say, pushing back to our previous all-time high of $2.46 is definitely going to be viable by the end of the year. I think by the end of the year, we easily see, $3 to $5 as a price point for our Cardano ADA holders. And then by the end of the bull market part 2, I do expect us to be right around that $7 to $10 range. So do keep that in mind. Obviously, there is a lot of volatility during bull markets even. So, always do your own research before investing. Obviously, there's a lot of volatility, like I said. I want you guys to be safe with your money. Obviously, only invest what you can afford to lose. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, making sure to continue to learn more about Cardano and cryptos altogether. Make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video. I'll see you guys all in the next one.